Hello, welcome to Math Made Public. Today we're going to talk about fraction to decimal conversion using long division. Okay, so let's say I have this fraction 3/4 and I want to change this to its decimal equivalent, okay? So in order to do that, I have to use long division, okay? So I want to connect the division to a real world problem. So in this case, let's say this 4 in the denominator represents 4 people, and this 3 in the numerator represents 3 chocolate bars, okay? So right now, if I were wanting to give each person an equal amount of chocolate, I can't give each person one whole bar because there aren't enough. Okay. So what I have to do is I have to give them pieces of those 3 chocolate bars. Okay. So let's start first by starting our long division. Okay. So here's my division symbol. Okay. So the numerator, the number on the top, that always goes on the inside. And the denominator always goes on the outside of the symbol. Okay, that's how we start. Okay, the first thing we want to do is say, okay, well, I know that there are no groups of 4 in 3. And representing this situation here, I know that each person cannot get one whole bar. Okay, so I want to put a 0 on top of the 3. Okay, no one's getting one whole chocolate bar. Okay, there are no groups of 4 in the number 3. Okay, so what's my next step? My next step is I need to go into the tens place. Okay, I need to go in the tens place. So what I want to do is I want to put a decimal point. Okay, and I want to put a 0 here. Okay, so why am I going into the tens place? Our number system is based on powers of 10. Okay, so once I have to divide these chocolate bars so that each person gets an equal amount, my next step is to divide it into tenths, which is right after the decimal point. Okay, right after the decimal point is the tenths place. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking those 3 chocolate bars and I'm dividing them each into 10 equal parts. And each of these pieces now are tenths. Okay, so there are 30 of those tenths. 30 of those tenths. All right, now I'm going to take those tenths, those small pieces, and I'm going to give each person an equal amount. Okay, if I give each person an equal amount of these tenths, I can give each of them 7 of these tenths. Okay, each of these people can get 7 tenths. Okay, so that's going to go right here. Okay, once I divide and give each person 7 of these tenths, then they're each together, they're going to have 28 of these tenths. Okay, so 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, if I give them 28 tenths total, there are going to be 2 pieces left over in here. Okay, there are going to be 2 tenths left over in here. Okay, that's what happens when we subtract. These are the 2 tenths that will be left over if each of these people gets 7 tenths, which would equal 28 tenths. Okay. Okay. Now I have to keep going because I can't stop until this is a 0, okay? Or I see a repetitive pattern, okay? But today we're going to see it get to 0 and then we can stop, okay? So now I'm going to keep going. Now I have to go into the hundredths place because I'm not done. My remainder is 2, okay? I still have those 2 little pieces left from here. So I'm going to put a 0 and I'm going to bring it down. Okay. Now what that indicates is, okay, well, if I take these 2 leftover pieces, right? And so here are the 2 leftover pieces, okay? These are the 2 leftover pieces now here that were in the remainder, and I divide them into 10 parts each, now I have 20 hundredths. I have 20 hundredths. That's this 20, okay? Because now I'm in the hundredths place. I put a 0, I brought it down. I have 20 of these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little pieces, these hundredths, and I'm going to pass them out to each of these people, okay? Each of these people. So if I pass out 20 hundredths to each person is going to get 5 of these. So that goes up here, okay? Each person's going to get 5 hundredths, 5 of those. And that's going to equal 20. So all of these will be gone if I pass them out equally. And now my remainder is 0, and I won't have any pieces of chocolate left, okay? So what this indicates is that each person is not going to get one whole chocolate bar. They're going to get parts of the chocolate bar. They're actually going to get 75 hundredths of the chocolate bar. Okay? So 3/4 equals 75 hundredths, and they are equivalent. And that's how you change a fraction to a decimal. Learn it, teach it, pass it on.